about today's announcement. What's your reaction to Bethel being named?
Good afternoon. I want to first thank everybody for coming out. I thought it was a very positive interview this afternoon or this morning with the mayor and new commissioner Kevin Bethel. I look very forward to working with them both from the FOP standpoint, and I hope together we can get a lot of things accomplished in the city for our police officers, their families, and the citizens of the city.
In terms of Bethel's understanding of what's happening within Philadelphia, being that he was a Philadelphia officer for a 30-year career before going to the school district, what do you think is important as he comes back into the department for him to recognize about what's going on within the department? What should he know from the FOP's perspective?
Well, there's a lot of things. In all honesty, I don't have enough time to sit here and pick one issue out because there's multiple issues within the police department as a whole. And I think one of the most important issues would be the manpower. We are very short-handed on the streets. Sometimes we are even sending officers out there in very dangerous conditions without anyone out there with them to back them up. So that's one of my priorities, is to get us help out there so we can perform the job to the best of our ability. Even though we were short, as I don't know if you know the last stats that Commissioner Stanford has put out, but the crime has decreased significantly in the city with the shortage of manpower. So that should show you what we've been doing as far as motivating our police officers to stay involved out there, as we continue to push for more help.
Do you feel that having a commissioner from within the ranks that knows the city, instead of bringing somebody from across the country again, is going to be beneficial to the city?
Absolutely. When Kevin Bethel was here as deputy commissioner, as he stated earlier, he was in patrol. He was deputy commissioner of patrols, and he's a numbers guy. Like, he gets the stats of what's going on. Based on that, he makes the decisions to how to deploy and put the people in the right positions, the right place. So him with the knowledge of being here for 30 years for his career and then coming back, I think that's going to be a great help to the men and women that work for the police department.
What about the morale and the trust that the men and women that run the city want to know that work in the city?
I mean, that morale is a hard thing to answer because there's so many police officers in the city, and each place they work, the morale depends on what's going on where they work. The overall morale, I can say, is low because of us not having enough people out there to actually do our job properly.
Is that the actual commissioner's job, though, to decide how many people are going to go out in the street and to hire more? I mean, is that his say?
Well, I don't think it's his say to physically hire people, because there's a hiring process that the city employees when they hire police officers, and then they go through a background investigation. There's a certain level of testing that takes place prior to them getting hired. But I'm quite sure the police commissioner pushed to get the best candidates that's qualified to do the job.
I know this is a new position for you, so I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it seemed as though in the past that there was a sentiment that the FOP, the cops on the beat, were not getting the support of the mayor's office. We're not getting the support of City Hall, potentially not getting the support of their former commissioner. How is that feeling now moving forward into 2024? And again, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Moving forward into 24, speaking to Mayor-elect Parker, I believe there's going to be a change for the good for the police department. We also have our deputy sheriffs that we represent. People tend to forget about them, but they are part of our union. And like I said, going forward with the commissioner, with Mayor Parker, I truly believe that we're going to have a much better relationship, because if we don't work together, we're not going to accomplish anything. So my goal is, and I express that to them as they both expressed to me, is that we're going to work together for everyone, police officers, their family, and the citizens of the city.
One last follow-up before you go. The first thing, or one of the first things that next Commissioner Bethel said was, it is a noble job. we are working hard out here. Please don't forget that. There's a push to change the sentiment and the narrative around what it means to be a police officer within Philadelphia. What would you say to that?
Well, it is a very hard job. Given the conditions today, the last couple of years with the riots, the movements, at one point in time, we felt like it was the world against law enforcement, But in the past year or so, we've seen a change. The things that's been going on in the city, because we didn't feel like we had the support of individuals that had control of controlling some of the things that was going on in the city. Officers going ahead at work and they're locking people up, and the next thing you know, you see them 2 hours later. So it's kind of tough for us to understand without having any explanation as to what was going on. We come to work every day, we do our job, and it's a tough job. It's a very hard job. When you go to work and you feel like you're not respected, you're not appreciated, but you still go to work every day. You do what you need to do.